Patty. It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy. Give a big round of applause for the one and only BodkinShow. I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I am that dude, Bodkins. Welcome to our Thursday night show, where we're going to talk a little bit of all the hot topics that are going on in the sports world, giving you that taste. Got a lot of things to say. So as always, I'm always joined every Thursday by the man who's got 1,001 shows here on the Let's Talk Sports Network. Plus, always my co-host now, my Puerto Rican brother, Mr. Johnny Cruz. Johnny, what's up, my man? How you doing?
What's going on, man? I'm chilling, man. Looking forward to another fun episode, man. Always love shooting the shit with you, bro.
As always, hey. Let's jump right into it. Let's start in the NFL as we normally do because it's the biggest, best league going. Let's start here right off the bat. Jalen Carter, Georgia defensive end. It looks like could be number one pick. The Bears are high on him. A lot of top 5 pick. A lot of people are saying gets removed from the combine. Has 2 misdemeanors laid out. Gets arrested, is in there for 40 minutes is what I was told, gets back to Indy and is now back at the combine. What's your thoughts here on this whole Jalen Carter situation?
It's a weird situation. It's kind of, you on the one hand, we were all 20, 21, 22. We all did some stupid shit when we were young. He just happens to be in the spotlight because of what he can do, his God-given ability and all the work he's put in to put himself in position to be a top 5, top 10 pick, possibly even a number 1 pick overall. And it's just, if unfortunately the horrible thing about it is 2 people lost their lives. You know what I'm saying? If that doesn't happen, then we're just talking about a knucklehead that just keeps on driving too fast. You know what I'm saying? But he was in a race with some people and, things went left, unfortunately. And, that's what makes it that much bigger of a story. But as far as him, he seems to have a heavy foot. This is his second time, with an issue like this. He got a citation or something for doing 80, 89 or something like that in a 45. So, the kid goes fast, but a lot of us go fast, maybe not that fast because we probably don't got the kind of car that can go as fast as he can. But it's a bad situation, but hopefully the kid can learn from it. But thoughts and prayers to the family of those 2 people that lost their lives. That's the main thing that kind of overshadows everything else that's going on here. That's not being spoken up enough. Everybody's focusing on this kid and what whether they should draft him, whether some people should take them off the board. I know you are ready to go off on somebody who as Dolphin fans, we have no love for because he did nothing but, put us down the drain. Mr. Mike Tannenbaum, of course, always has something to say about people. So I'll let you go ahead and say what you got to say, bro.
Yeah. First of all, I want to point out, like you said, 2 people lives were taken. And it doesn't sound like it. 2, and they were all kids. It was a teammate and another, I guess like a scouting assistant or whatever, but sounds like another young kid. We were all young kids at one point in time, young 20-year-old kids, first of all. And we didn't have, I think I could speak for the both of us. We didn't have the kind of money, even at NIL deals that these kids have at young 20-year-old kids. I have a misdemeanor on my record. Let's start there first. I have misdemeanors. You know what I mean? I committed crimes and did dumb stuff that Mr. Carter has done himself, maybe 10 times worse, that could have got people murdered. But I was just young, dumb, and naive at that point in time in my own life. Didn't have the money or the cars that Mr. Carter has. So let's start there. They're young kids. They're celebrating winning a national championship, first of all. Did he commit a crime? Possibly so, but they're misdemeanors. He didn't go out and murder somebody. He's not linked to the murders. I think that's where I don't want anybody to think that happened. No, they were racing. The other car got wrecked. He originally, I guess, his stories have lied. He lied to the police officers. Raise your hand here if you've lied to the fucking cops at one point in time in your life. We all have, right?
All the time.
Hey, right. Okay. Especially at young 20-year-old, you're going to lie because you don't want to get in trouble. Number one, and you know that your future is bright. This kid's got a bright future. He's going to be a top 5 pick. So, of course, I'm going to lie my motherfucking ass off to cover my ass because I don't want bad shit to happen to me at this point in time.
Right.
Get it. And then here's where Mike Tannenbaum, I'm watching ESPN this morning and at Sports Center in the hotel where I was staying at. And sure enough, there's Mike Tannenbaum. I don't know if I'd draft Mr. Carter. If I'm the Bears, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would trade out of that first round pick to trade back to get him. I'm doing all the extensive research I'm going to be. I don't even know if I would take him at all. We don't know what's going to happen. Mike Tannenbaum, shut the fuck up. I mean, gee. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. You had to have been a kid at one point and done stupid stuff, Mike Tannenbaum. You drafted Laramie. I had to ask you. I wanted to make sure that this was right. You drafted Laramie Tunsil, and guess what? Laramie Tunsil was doing young kid stuff too, smoking pot with the big ass fucking mask on. You still drafted his ass. You know what? He was doing a dumb kid. So don't sit here and say you wouldn't draft Mr. Carter because of this. That is bullshit. You're going to cost because you talking out the side of your damn neck on fucking TV. And now GMs, you're trying to ruin or discredit this kid because maybe he's not all about ball or this and that. Can he show up on Sundays now and play? That's the number one thing. Did he learn? Hopefully he learned his lesson. Right. That's number 2. You know what I mean? Like that's probably the most important thing. Did he learn his lesson? Right. But Tannenbaum's out here talking about how he wouldn't draft the guy. Shut up. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. If he fell to you and you needed him, you'd draft his ass. So stop lying. Right. Stop lying and realize that these are young 20-year-old kids that are still maturing. Really, their brains aren't even fully freaking developed. Your brain's not fully developed till the age of 25, and we're holding these kids to a higher standard than what normal people would. Normal 20-year-old kids are doing the type of stuff that they're doing. The difference is they're under a microscope because they're playing for the national championship, and they're going to go try to make millions of dollars in the NFL. But did they really do anything wrong that your normal 21, 22-year-old would do? Absolutely not. You give me the kind of money and the car that he was probably driving, I'm probably doing the same dumb shit that they was doing, if not worse, at that point in time because I was a young, dumb kid too, and I didn't even have that kind of money, and I was still out doing dumb shit because I thought I could get away with it and do dumb stuff. But because that's what young 20-year-olds men do. That's what young 20-year-olds, they weren't doing anything wrong. Just wrong place, wrong time, wrong situation. Unfortunately, 2 people's lives were cost by it, but it's something that happens almost every day today. Open up your local newspaper. You're going to find a young 20-year-old, 22-year-old kid doing something dumb in a car, and he wrecked and died. It happens all the time.
Right.
And we're holding this kid to a higher standard because he's an athlete. Let's hold everybody to the same standard. Was it wrong? Yes. Should he have to pay the misdemeanors and things like that? Yes. Should it cost him fucking billions of dollars and not draft him? Absolutely freaking not.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like we said before the show, I think I speak for the 99% of Dolphin fans that we do not listen to a damn thing that Mike Tannenbaum has to say. He's on TV for a reason. He's not a GM for a reason. So as much as he loves to give his opinion on who he would draft and who he wouldn't draft, he is riding the coattails on the one thing that he got right, where he said that he would have taken Justin Herbert in the draft, and Justin Herbert turned out to be, a special kid, which a lot of people saw that. You know what I'm saying? So take it easy there. He's always quick to want to, try to put himself on a higher moral ground than other people, man. Just be real. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it was a dumb thing. It was a horrible thing that, tragedy that wound up happening. But, oh, my God, there's some stuff that I look back on that I did, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm glad I didn't get caught because, you know what I'm saying, God only knows what would have happened to me because I don't have the resources or whatever to have gotten out of the trouble that I would have gotten into
exactly
at 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? And luckily nobody lost a life or nothing like that. But I mean, to say you're not going to draft a kid, man, just you know what I'm saying. You got to give these kids an opportunity to learn from their mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, the worst thing is about the two lives and their families and their friends and how it affects them. As far as the kids' draft status, just shut up and just let the men that are employed as GMs make the decisions.
Yeah, there's a reason you're on ESPN and you're not working for anybody.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like there's a reason those things aren't happening.
Right.
But where are you at? You know what I mean? You're over here criticizing a young kid who made a mistake. And he probably feels bad about the situation. You know what I mean?
He has to.
He has to, right? Like that was his teammate. That was his friend that passed away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like those things, I'm sure he feels bad. You know?
I mean, he already has to live with that for the rest of his life. Now you're going to try to ruin the rest of his life as well? Come on, man.
That's not cool. I think that I do think he'll get I do think he'll still get drafted in the top 10. There'll probably be a lot of high media scrutiny about it, this and that. But I mean, 2 misdemeanors is not the worst thing that we've seen a college kid do and still be
where does Dallas pick?
Right.
Jerry don't give a damn.
I seen somebody, I seen a meme today. It was like Raiders and Browns, knowing that Carter's got two misdemeanors.
Raiders, Browns, Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? They are snatching him up if he is there at that pick, man. It is what it is, man. I mean, like I said, hopefully the kid learns from it, grows from this situation. Maybe he does some, most 90% of NFL players wind up doing charities and stuff like that in their community. So hopefully this kid does the right thing, you know what I'm saying, once he gets drafted and stuff like that. But to try to deny the kid an opportunity to basically gain generational wealth to take care of his family for basically forever. Come on, man. Stop trying to sit on that high moral ground that you know what I'm saying? It's not very firm, Mr. Mike Tannenbaum, for real.
Yeah. And let's stay on Alex, let's stay on bad GMs for 200 who are players are calling out here. I don't know if you saw this, but so the Ravens are obviously still working on this deal for Lamar Jackson. Right. Seems like they're still far apart. We'll know more next week on what kind of tag they're going to give him. But Rashad Bateman has come out. I don't know if you saw this. Rashad Bateman tweeted out. The GM, the Ravens GM, was asked about wide receivers, and he pretty much said, if I had to answer that would probably mean I would have some better receivers. DeCosta said, we're going to keep swinging. There have been some guys that have been successful players for us that were draft picks. We've never really hit on the all-pro type of guy, which is disappointing, but it's not for a lack of effort. It's one of those anomalies that I really can't explain other than to say that we're not going to stop trying. So since the Baltimore's first draft, 96, Baltimore is the only team to not draft a Pro Bowl wide receiver over the past 12 seasons. So that's what Costa said. So This is what Bateman said about that in his tweet. How about, it's now deleted, imagine that. How about you play to your player's strength and stop pointing to the finger at us and 8? Blame the one you let do this. We take the heat 24/7. Keep us healthy, care about us, and see what happened. Ain't no promises, though. Tired of y'all lying and capping on players for no reason.
So is that at the general manager? Or
that's at the general manager, and I believe they fired their
they got rid of Greg Roman.
Well, that was the OC.
That's the OC.
Both, right? Like they fired Greg Roman. That was at the general manager and the head trainer who they fired too, because the head trainer can't keep nobody healthy.
Right. Well,
so it's
funny to me how they fired a trainer because guys get injuries. It's the freaking NFL, bro. Guys are gonna get injured. You know what I'm saying? So how could he have been doing a worse job than he did last year? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's just the luck of the draw. You know
but I mean, if guys aren't getting healthy, you know what I mean?
No, and I get it, whatever. So I understand the move, but I think that's a low-key shot at John Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? Because he allowed Greg Roman to completely design this offense for Lamar Jackson. I mean, we talked about this before. They did a disservice to that young man by never trying to develop him into an actual quarterback. They just took advantage of the fact that he's good, he's quick, and he's fast, and he can run. So we'll do a bunch of running. No wide receiver is going to excel in an offense like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look in the damn mirror. You know what I'm saying? But so good for you, Rashad, for speaking up, even though he deleted the tweet. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. He put it out there, so it's out there. He said what he said. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't like the deleted tweet stuff. Like, hey, you felt man enough. You got the balls to put it out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Be a man of your word and keep on your word. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I ain't, maybe Costa got to him and was like, hey, we should, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that, to disrespect you. But as Bateman, I would feel that I was, slided too when he's talking about, hey, we ain't drafted the right guy. That's on. Well, first of all, you're the one drafting them, GM. Like you're the one your job as a GM is to draft guys and then have the people help to develop them. So who is that on if you're out here just talking shit? And Rashad Bateman, he's been banged up and been hurt twice, his 2 seasons. Right. But he's showed some promise.
Yes,
like
he has. He's a good player, man.
I would take that. I would bash the GM too. Like I don't think Bateman, should he say what he should have said in public? Maybe not. That's something maybe you say behind closed doors. But in the heat of the moment, I mean, we all say some crazy ass shit, right?
Right.
So,
should the GM have said that shit?
No.
You know saying? I mean, he could have answered that question completely different without basically shitting on every wide receiver they've drafted over the last however many years.
Yeah.
So I understand the young man kind of taking offense to that, but I'm with you with the delete the tweet. Stop deleting the tweets. If you want to put another tweet and say everything all good, whatever, blah, 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 fine. But don't delete the shit you already said, man. You said what you said. Own it. You know what I'm saying? That's
be a man.
Bite my tongue for no one, like Biggie Smalls said.
Either both guys need to come back to back. And what's this going to do now towards Bateman, his restructure? And then what happens if Lamar leaves? Like, is the GM going to get fired and is Harbaugh going to get fired? Like, what happens at this point in time if they can't get this deal done with Lamar?
John Harbaugh was going to lose his job before he put Lamar Jackson in the game.
He was going to retire.
Yeah, they were going to go their separate ways or whatever, mutual, whatever. That's just a nice way of saying they're getting rid of his ass. I think if they can't come up with Lamar, I think they blow it up, bro. I think they, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's Baltimore, so I don't know that they feel that they can blow it up, you know what I'm saying? But are they going to go sign a Derek Carr or somebody like that? Like, I don't even know who the new OC is for them right now because I really don't give a damn about the Baltimore Ravens. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't they get the Alabama, the Georgia OC?
Yeah. Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what quarterback are you going to get if you don't sign Lamar? You know what I'm saying? And who's going to give up if they put the tag with the 2 first round? Who's going to give up 2 first round picks for Lamar Jackson?
Atlanta Falcons.
So then, you know what? Get the picks.
And there's an exclusive tag, and then there's the non-exclusive tag the non-exclusive tag where he can go seek deals, and then they have the right to
match. They work out a trade, right? Oh yeah,
match it or trade, right?
Right. I think they want to. They don't want to pay him, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't want to pay him what he wants.
Yeah. He wants Deshaun Watson set the market fully guaranteed money.
Yeah, but when you add up the injuries, he's had an MVP. I'm not giving him that money. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't shown me that he can win games in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? With that style of game. Now, I don't know if maybe with another offensive coordinator and they try to work on his offensive, you know what I'm saying, his pocket presence and working from the pocket and working on developing him as a quarterback. We'll see what happens, but are you going to do that while paying him $45 million a year? I don't think they want to do that, man. I think Baltimore feels like if we can get a good
and take up 50% of the cap and take up 50% of the cap.
They probably figure if they can get somebody to hold it down, you know what I'm saying, and they can get those picks for Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Make some other trades to gather some picks. Maybe they draft the quarterback next year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they ain't going to just bomb on the season, but they probably figure with our defense, that defense is young too. They got some young, good pieces. They just, you know what I'm saying? They just got Roquan Smith. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if they like, yo, if you want to bounce, we'll get the picks. Well, you know what I'm saying? They'll re-sign Huntley or whatever, the Pro Bowl quarterback, you know what I'm saying, Huntley for a year, probably try to draft somebody next year. Because I don't see them paying for a Carr or a Garoppolo or any. I don't see them paying for nobody like that, man.
I don't know. I mean, and the thing of it is, you don't know how those guys are going to fit into the system, right? Like they don't match what they were doing, but with the new OC, maybe it will. So Dan's on here, says, "Great show, guys." Also weird. Johnny said he was going to hold out until you gave into his green room demands, but here he is. Hey, Johnny knows who makes the bread and butter around here, Dan.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, and the food is much better than usual, man. It's very good tonight.
Hey, so let's jump into some NBA news. LeBron looks like he's out for the next month. Can the Lakers withstand no LeBron? Last night they won no LeBron, no AD. But can they make the playoffs? Maybe even just in the play in with this stupid ass play-in tournament I hate. With LeBron or without LeBron.
Well, I mean, I think because of by default they might be able to make it. You know what I'm saying? Just looking up some stats, they're 30 and 33. They're in 11th place right now. But like I was telling you before the show, they are 3 games behind the Warriors, who are in 5th place, and 4 games behind the Phoenix Suns that are in 4th place. So if they go on a little bit of a streak, they can be right in the mix. You know what I'm saying? So the Western Conference ain't all that. It's very top heavy. You know what I'm saying? You got those few teams up top, and then 5 all the way down through 13. They're just a few games away from each other, except for the couple completely crappy teams down at the bottom. But the history shows, last year they were 8 and 18 without LeBron. So far this year they're 6 and 10 without LeBron. But I like the pieces that they brought in. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it would make it so much easier if Anthony freaking Davis could actually stay on the court.
You can't. Yeah, that's the thing. Is
you can't trust him at all, bro. So if they do make the play, and I say it's by default, they do got a little bit of an easy stretch coming up. The next couple of weeks, they got the next 4 at home. They got the Timberwolves, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, and I think the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
But they could lose those games. I mean,
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. These 4 games can basically decide their season because there's only 19 games left. You know what I'm saying? So if they go 0-4 and the teams ahead of them win a few games, that could pretty much be it. You know what I'm saying? Unless they went on a tremendous hot streak to end the season. But I don't see them doing that. Like I said, if anything, I think they barely make the play-in.
Yeah, I'm looking at their schedule right now. So they got the Timberwolves Friday, then they turn around and play the Warriors. I think they lose that game with no LeBron. They got the Grizzlies. They just lost to the Grizzlies without LeBron.
Right. Then they got the Raptors at home.
They got the Raptors. They should win that game. They should win the Raptors. That's a game they should win. They got the Knicks. The Knicks have been playing hot right now. The Knicks might be the second hottest team in all of basketball outside the Bucks, who just won their 13th straight, I believe, or 12th straight. Right.
And I want to say that I think I've heard somebody on TV, mention that I think they have one of the easiest schedules, remaining schedules of anybody. Because like you say, after that homestand, then they go to New Orleans. We don't even know if Zion's going to play. You know what I'm saying?
The Pelicans are tough, though. They're still a tough team without him.
Yeah, but then they're at Rockets, home against Luka and Kyrie trying to still put it together, home against the Magic.
That's a game they got to win, though, against the Mavs.
That's the thing. They have to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. But at the same time, with no LeBron, a lot of these teams are probably circling and saying, that's a team that we should beat. You know what I'm saying? They're saying the same thing about the Lakers. So it's going to be fun going down the stretch here, man. I'm going to definitely be paying attention to a lot more basketball going down the stretch here. I know it's spring training and baseball stuff is starting, but I'm definitely getting into this playoffs. But like I said, I mean, they got some easy. They at Houston too. The Jazz at home. They got the Jazz twice, the Timberwolves twice during this span. Like we said, the Magic, the Bulls twice. I mean, they should win. Out of these 19 games, they got to go probably 12-7. You know You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And
That's a lot.
I don't know that they could do that. I don't know that they could do that. Like I said, last year they were 8-18 without LeBron. This year so far they're 6-10. So I don't know. I don't see them going 5 games over 500 and going 12-7. I don't see them doing that.
He's out at least 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Today's what? March 2nd?
Yeah.
So you're talking.
We may not see him back until
the home game against the Bulls or at, you know what I'm saying, or
the end of the month.
Right. The end of the month, which will leave like 2, 4, 6, like 6 or 7 games left. So they got to hope to stay afloat. And it's not like he's going to come back and he's going to be 100%. You know what I'm saying? And again, the key is AD, man. If AD can actually stay on the court and help the team a little bit, like I said, because I like some of the pieces they brought in. I've been a fan of D'Angelo Russell. I don't think the Lakers gave him enough, you know, say, time to develop when they shipped him off the first time. So they got some good pieces, man. I like the Rudy Hachimura. Yeah, I like him too. You know what I'm saying? So they got some good young pieces. But I don't know, man. Like a lot of these other teams are trying to position themselves for a playoff spot as well. So, like I said, I think if they do, it's gonna be making the play in. They're not gonna get to a top 6 seed. I don't think so.
And they're playing the teams. The thing of it is they're playing a lot of the teams that they're going to have to play, that need to win too.
Right.
New Orleans is there at 10. They got them a couple times. Minnesota, Dallas, they're that 7 through 9, 9 range. So it's going to be tough. So Craig says,
like I said, the Jazz twice. The Jazz are 9. Yeah, all the teams in front of them, they're playing them. So they hold their own destiny in their hands. That's the one saving grace. But when you ain't got, you know what I'm saying, this generation's, greatest player, and one of the best players is only on the court, 22% of the time, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to win games like that, man. But like I said, if they make a playoff, if they make the play-in and LeBron comes back the last 5 or so games and he gets himself kind of, gets his legs back underneath him, that could be a scary team if him and AD are healthy and on the court.
Yeah, and Russell.
Right.
And here's the thing, is like you said, there's not much separating them from all the way to the 5th seed to the 13th seed, or the 11th seed, really. Like the Lakers are 30 and 33.
Right.
The Warriors are 32 and 30.
That's what I'm saying. And the Suns are 34 and 29. The Suns are 4 games ahead of them. That's it. 4 games.
4 games. And I think the Suns are going to, I don't know if you caught what they're. They look stupid nuts. Easy. Before we talk about them, I just want to get Craig's comment. He says, wasn't sure the Lakers would make the playoffs with LeBron. Without LeBron, I give them 0 chance.
I'm kind of with him. Like I said, maybe the play-in, maybe. That's about all I see for these Lakers, man.
But you mentioned the Suns. I don't know if you caught it last night. KD just walks in and just a month off, fits right in with that team, and just go. They just go.
I think he's the best player in the league right now, bro.
There's only
I think he's been the best player for like the last 5 years. If he wasn't hurt these last few years, bro, he would be putting up ridiculous numbers and stuff like that. He's just so smooth, bro. I'm telling you, you're talking about a 7-footer that can handle the ball that well, could stop for the quick pull-up jumpers, with ease, and they're all money. All his mid-range stuff is money. And he fits into any offense because he's not one of those guys that has to have the ball all the time.
No, he's not he doesn't have to be. He can take over a game when he wants to.
Right.
And then he can also just, hey, you know what? Just give me the ball whenever. I'm going to fit right in, and I'm going to go get. He got 23. Been out for a month. And they just put it on Charlotte. I know Charlotte's nothing to be, this good team, and it's only 1 game. But Jesus, just ain't played in a month, brand new team, brand new everything, and then just walks in and gets 23 with ease. And it's not like he's high level shooting.
That's what I'm saying. He's efficient as hell, bro. He'll be like 8 for 10, 8 for 11, 20 something points, 12 for 15 for 32 points. You know what I'm saying? Some crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He's super efficient, and Devin Booker is one of my favorite players. You know what I'm saying? So I want them to win for Devin Booker and Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying? But that's a ridiculous combo, man. Like Devin Booker's a dude. He's a dude, bro. And to have a running mate like KD, bro, that's scary, bro.
Yeah, because what are you going to do? Like KD he only shot the ball 15 times.
Right.
I mean, 10 to 15.
Right.
Like he doesn't, I mean, he's just like you said, he's efficient and he shoot it anywhere he wants to on the court. Right. And then if you double him, well, then he's kicking it out to Devin Booker. Right. Chris Paul's another guard that doesn't have to score to affect the game. I know he's old, and you just hope that his body can just hold up one time through the whole year, and maybe they can get back to this championship. DeAndre Ayton can go get a bucket. He's a good interior guy to have. I worry about their depth going forward. I think I've said that before, but I mean, with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker.
Not only that, but don't be surprised if they don't start signing a couple of guys that get bought out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some old vets that just want to get on there and grab a ring. You know what I'm saying? Because if that team stays healthy, there's nobody in the West beating them. There's nobody, not 4 times, not 4 out of 7.
I don't know how.
That's what I'm saying. Because you don't even need Ayton to be a big-time offensive player. Play defense, rebound, and we got it. You know what I'm saying? That's all they're going to be asking him to do. So Chris Paul ain't going to have to do much either, like you said. Just facilitate the ball. He'll learn exactly where KD – and a lot of these guys played together during the summer. You know what I'm saying? They've played it together in the Olympics. So they got a little familiarity with each other already. So, yeah, this is – they got the potential to be scary, bro.
Yeah, and like you said, KD can go to any team. That's why when people are like – when Kyrie got traded to the Mavs, we're like, can Kyrie and Luka, they still got to figure it out. They're both ball dominant players. Right. Both usually got to have the ball in their hand. With KD, he learned, number one, I think in Golden State, hey, I can just slide in. I can shoot the ball 15 times. Curry could shoot it this much. Clay, everybody got got there. So, and then, then he kind of went on his own again. And then now he is with another team. Just, hey, I'm a side in. Y'all do y'all. Just I'll shoot it 15 times when we need a clutch bucket. Look, ain't nobody can stop
me. Give me the ball, right? Yeah, just give me the ball when we got to win the game at the end. That's it. Yeah. And if he has to, you know what I'm saying, and if Devin Booker is going nuts one night, he'll have no problem getting 9-10 assists.
Yeah, he'll defer. Yes, yeah, he's very just easy kill guy. Gets a lot of hate, for rightfully so.
I mean, that was a soft move going to the Warriors, especially since he had tweeted out some shit about LeBron when he went to Miami. He talked about, you know what I'm saying? I guess we're going to have to, we have to take them out ourselves. When he was in Oklahoma City, you got to stay home or some shit like that. I'm quoting it all kinds of wrong, but in essence, he basically said
it was just the team that beat him, right? Like that's
the thing too. You were up 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1 and you lost to them. And then you joined them. So that was kind of a, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because he was good enough to where, you know what I'm saying, they could have made it happen there. The GM messed up by trading James Harden, because imagine if he had never left. That would have been insane, the three of them developing all together. But he could have gone anywhere and put anybody in title contention. He went to the defending champ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or he went to the team that broke the Bulls' fucking all-time win record with 73 wins and coming off a title the year before. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, do what you got to do. Now you got 2 chips. But and then you leave there to go to the Nets. He wanted to go to the Knicks, but he followed Kyrie because Kyrie wanted to go to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understood that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just followed Kyrie wherever. You know what I'm saying? That didn't make any sense to me at all. You know what I'm saying? That he let Kyrie kind of lead the way. You know what I'm saying? You're the big dog, bro. You know what I'm saying? You make Kyrie go wherever you want to go. You know what I'm saying? But he just must not have that personality. You know what I'm saying?
The alpha.
Right. Now, I mean, I know he went to Phoenix and we're just talking whatever shit. Imagine him playing with Luka. Like, that would have been some shit, bro. Because you know what I'm saying? He would have been fine with Luka hogging the ball. He would have gone to do his thing. Luka would have found that would have been insane. Like I said, Kevin Durant could go on any team and fit right in with any team, and he immediately puts them in contention. That's how great he is. So Phoenix is the fact that they didn't have to give up DeAndre Ayton in that trade is insane, bro.
Yeah.
So good for Phoenix, man.
Craig's got a quick comment here before we get into some baseball talk here. Suns going to be real tough in the playoffs. Lost a little depth of the KD deal, but they're still deep. Look out for the quietly healthy Kawhi and the Clippers. And we talked about that too. I think last week when we were doing our power rankings, you were high on the Clippers. I know Craig is too, myself. So they ain't won a game since Russ has got there, but they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think they're worried about it. They'll figure out the chemistry. He'll figure out the chemistry with the second team because that's mostly when they're going to need him to do is when, you know what I'm saying, when Kawhi or Paul George is taking a little
Sign
break.
me up for that Western Conference playoff, right? Suns, Clippers, like how intriguing would that be? Those matchups be? You have Russ and CP who've had their battles in the past, their issues. You got Russ versus KD, obviously.
Right.
Kawhi is one of the few players I feel like can defend KD really, to the max. Paul George as well. He's, and kudos.
It's all about health, bro.
Yeah.
If both teams are healthy, then the Clippers have a chance because of their defense.
And speaking of Paul George, I watched an interview. It was just a clip, and he said, "You know what? I realized something that the reason I joined, forces with Russ, and I've joined forces with. I went to the Clippers. I realized something. He's like, I can't do this on my own.
Right.
I'm not that good. I'm good, but I'm not good enough to be the guy. Right. I'm not good enough to go in and day out and carry a team to a championship. And that's what I want to do. I want to win a championship. Right. And I'm a better number two playing off the ball than I am if I was the guy like I was in Indiana. We were never going to win in Indiana and be being the guy. So I had to go get somebody. And I had to go play with somebody because I needed to be the number two guy because that's what I could be better. I knew that's how I could win a championship.
Yeah, and props to him for being able to admit that because there's a lot of guys that know that they are not the man, but they want to be the man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just, you know what I'm saying, you can be really, really good and still have that dude playing on your team. You know what I'm saying? So props to him for being able to admit that and stuff because he's a really good player when he stays healthy too. But yeah, he's a upper echelon number two. He's a perfect number two. So if they're healthy, because Kawhi's a bad boy, bro.
He is when he's healthy.
If he can stay healthy on both sides of the ball, he can affect the game. I mean, he could not score and just lock somebody down.
Yeah, when he's fully healthy, he's still the best two-way player in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. The homeboy went to Toronto and won a title, bro. Like, seriously. Went over there for one season and won a chip. Like, that's some gangster shit right there, bro. Like, props to Kawhi. He's so much fun to watch, too, man. You ain't rushing him. He's playing his game no matter what, man.
Craig says, not too many guys I'd take in the playoffs over a healthy Kawhi. True that. Yeah. Johnny, I know you're kind of a baseball purist like myself, and we had the new baseball rules, the pitch clock, the bigger bases. I mean, what's your feeling here on all the baseball changes? Are you a fan? We're kind of 1 week into this spring training now. What's your thoughts here as we, ramp up towards baseball season?
I mean, it's kind of mixed emotions. I mean, they had to do something. Because the flow of the game was just horrible, man. We talked about it a bunch as far as like, the kids just have no interest in watching a baseball game. So they had to do something to get some more action. I love the pitch clock because I hate when pitchers take a minute in between each pitch. It's like,
I think it's more the hitters that I think hitters take forever.
Well, I mean, they both do. So when you get a combination of a pitcher that's slow as hell and a lineup that has a bunch of guys that have to do the whole taking off, unstrapping the batting gloves and restrapping them. Like, come on, man. I mean, I understand that they have their routines and their stuff. And, I listened to Jonathan the other day, which shout out, I'm going to have, shout out to Jonathan. I'm going to have him on the Johnny Cruz show coming up. So definitely check that one out. That's going to be a fun baseball talk. So I understand I played baseball my whole life until I physically couldn't. But I understand the whole thought process, but as far as like thinking about how the at-bat is going, what did he just throw to me? What did he throw to me my last at-bat? So I get that. But at the same time, I was see the ball, hit the ball type guy. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't need to step out too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I can sit there in the at bat and kind of, basically game plan while I'm there. And I understand that's not I never played the major leagues. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different animal.
Yeah.
But you needed to speed the game up a little bit. So I don't mind that. The bigger bags I was a little iffy on only because, I mean, if you see these guys when they stealing bases, they got those oven mitts on. And it's like 5-6 inches long anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now you got that plus a bigger base. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? If it's going to encourage more base stealing, I'm all for it. I just want to see some action, bro. I mean, to go 4 or 5 minutes without any type of ball being put in play, that's just, you know what I'm saying? The game was dying, so they needed to make some kind of type of changes. I'm okay with it. The one thing I really don't like is the whole runner on second base in the 10th inning. I mean, at least give them 2 innings of extra innings before you before you change the game and put a guy on base.
Here's the thing of it is the second baseman. It don't really. Both teams seem to score off of that one that hitter on second. So are you really doing anything by adding that? If both teams go ahead and score off that runner on second in the 10th, and we're going to the 11th anyway, like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
but the thing about it too is like, and I agree with Jonathan so much on this too, the whole analytics thing is like, guys are just swinging for the fence all the damn time. He mentioned Joey Gallo, and that's a perfect example. Mark Teixeira was another one. You know what I'm saying? He was a 300 hitter when the Yankees signed him. Once they started doing that shift, he was 220, 230, because he refused to hit the ball the other way. And his thought process was, they pay me to hit home runs, so I'm going to just hit the ball over the shift.
That's their thought process.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, come on, man. Smack that shit to left field, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's my thought process too, Johnny, is look, hey, and I said this on Monday when we were talking about it on Buffoon and Bodkins. What other sport do you litigate the defense and say, hey, you can't?
Well, go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like in basketball, if I know you can't shoot everybody, let's use Ben Simmons for a fact.
Right.
Everybody knows Ben Simmons don't shoot no damn jump shot. Don't even shoot no threes. What do? You lay off of him. Right. Hey, prove me wrong. Okay. Right. So they don't go in the NBA and say, hey, sorry, y'all can't lay off Ben Simmons. You gotta you gotta guard him close up so he can blow by you, or you can't have this, you can't do this because they're doing that. You know what he's got to do? What every offensive player's got to do? Improve his game.
Right.
If you can't hit it to fucking left field, by God, learn how to fucking hit it to left field. Lay down a fucking butt and you can get to second base because everybody's all the way over. Right. I mean, Jesus, the part of it is when they got into the analytics, they sung so far over that way where we're getting guys taken out of the World Series because they've been through 3 times through the order. You know what? Like, get it out of here.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to Jonathan about this shit because I am not a fan of analytics. I get the analytics. They've been in the game forever. They're called stats.
Yeah.
This is just nerds breaking it down to the nth degree. And now it's all analytics and this whole percentage of – I get it. But for that to be your end-all, be-all, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a flow and an essence to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're taking the game away from the guys being able to have reactions to stuff, to managers being able to feel how their players, you don't know what the players are going through that day or that week. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe in momentum. They don't believe in hot streaks, analytics. They don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? Because so if you've hit four home runs 4 days in a row, but there's a pitcher that you haven't been all that great against, or whatever, throws a certain slider that you only bat 200 against, they're gonna sit you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? And the teams that were able to be analytical but still kind of use their gut when it comes down to it in the playoffs have won the title. Like the 18 freaking Red Sox, as much as I hate to say it, but Joey Cora wasn't trying to hit that shit. You know what I'm saying? They were analytical as hell, but when they had to, they bunted. Mookie Betts stole bases. Like, they did what they had to do to score runs. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it has to be. Now, my rebuttal as far as leagues changing rules, they all do. You know what I'm saying? Because in say there's no more hand
offense.
checking.
Yeah.
There's no more hand checking.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? For a while, you couldn't play zone. You know what I'm saying? So teams adjust. NFL comes up with more. Offense is the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? And it's entertainment at the end of the day. But when you completely change the game, then that's a little bit much or whatever. But I don't mind the pitch clock at all because I think they needed to hurry the hell up anyway. And like you mentioned, they always make an example of stuff in the preseason or in spring training, basically just to let them know, we taking this shit serious. You know what I'm saying? And then when the games start, they might be a little more lenient, but at the same time, if you taking advantage of it, they're gonna call you out on the strike or whatever. But there ain't no way a World Series or a playoff game is going to be determined by no bullshit ass, you know what I'm saying, you ain't ready at 8 seconds. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And by that time, guys should be used to it because you've been dealing with it all season.
Yeah,
you know
I think so too.
So I think they had to do something, man, and not for nothing, but watching a Yankee game in 2 hours and 20-something minutes is freaking awesome, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got more time to do other shit.
I agree. I agree. I told Jonathan on Monday when I talked to him, I said the best part. I said this is how I watch a Cubs game. I said I turn it on, watch the first 3 innings. I said as long as they're still doing good, then I fall asleep and take a little nap, and then I wake up and catch 7, 8, and 9. And as long as they ain't piss me off and they're still in the game, I'll keep it on for 7, 8, and 9 for the next hour. Right. That's how I break down the 3-hour game. I get a nice 3 innings. I take a nap, wake up, see how we're doing. And then I'm ready for 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And I love baseball to death, but I can't front these last couple years. Like especially the shift that I would work, I wouldn't be able to watch the Yankee game. So I would record it, watch it when I got home from work in the morning, and I'm fast forwarding through shit because there ain't nothing going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I see a little rally going, I press play and watch it. And as soon as that rally's over, I fast forward. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. I love baseball, so I hope these little tweaks, and like I mentioned, I made a comment on the Buffoons and BodkinShow. Shout out to Tanner, of course. You know what I'm saying about the tweaking it during the season. I get that they can't do it during the season, but after the season. So I mean, if something is just way off tilt, then they'll kind of tweak it at next season and stuff like that. But they got to do something, bro, because you know what I'm saying. Like this generation, we love baseball, so we'll still watch it and stuff. And even like you said, even us, we'll watch it, but you know what I'm saying, we'll try to skim through it if we can. You know what I'm saying? This next generation, they ain't trying to hear that shit at all, bro. For real.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned, my kids, you know what I'm saying, they love playing and they love going to the stadium. If I say, hey, let's go to the stadium and watch a game, even if it's minor leagues, whatever, they'll go to the ballpark anytime for the whole experience.
Yeah.
But if I'm watching a Yankee game and I'm like, hey, watch it, nah, unless it's somebody, something crazy's going on, like Aaron Judge when he's going for those home runs, like they might watch his one at bat. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. That's all they got time for. You know what I'm saying? So they had to do something. So I got mixed messages, but I think some of the stuff is going to work, and hopefully
I do agree as far as speeding up the game. I do like even a couple years ago when they took out, you have to face the 3 batters unless it's an inning, because shit, man, like that Tony La Russa, you watch some of his managed games, it would be every other pitcher, and it's commercial break after commercial break after commercial break. Shit, one inning would go for 45 minutes because it's, one pitcher after the next pitcher after the next pitcher. So I do think they need to speed up the game. I'm not a fan of eliminating the shift, but I do think we need more balls into play. We used to have that. The thing of it is, Johnny, is that they switched to so much for our analytics. The baseball game that me and you grew up loving is long gone.
Right. That's not what they're playing now.
Nobody is getting the runner on first. Then you move the runner over on second by a bunt or you know what I mean, or something.
Yeah. There's no situational hitting anymore.
Yes, there's no situation. There's 3 things that happen in today's baseball, and I hate it: a strikeout, a home run, or a walk. That's it.
That's it. That's boring as hell, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For real. And I love baseball, but it gets boring after a while. You know what I'm saying? Like the Yankees, this last playoff game against the Astros, I think they struck out like 13, 14 times each game.
Yeah.
I think one game was like 16. Like, bro, you get 27 outs. You can't have 2/3 of them be by strikeout. You know what I'm saying? So I like the ban of the shift only because the nerds upstairs and the analytics were telling them don't hit it the other way. You know what I'm saying? Just swing for the fences. You know what I'm saying? If it was old school managers and they were doing that type of shift,
they say, hey, lay down the bunt.
They better lay down the bunt. You better smack that ball to left,
yeah.
to left, you know what I'm saying, left field, or you getting benched.
Yeah, and then hustle to second base because you're asking to be on second base.
Double, you know right. I mean? You know what I'm saying? If there's a man on third with less than 2 outs, bro, you better hit the ball up in the air. Or a guy on second base with less than with nobody out, you better pull the ball to the right side so that the guy can get to third. You know
imagine
like, situational shit, man.
Yeah, imagine if they would have told Tony Gwynn, all you do is just swing for the fences, Tony Gwynn. Tony, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
One of the greatest hitters ever.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Wade Boggs was another one.
Yeah.
Wade Boggs didn't hit no home runs, but he smacked the shit out of that green monster.
Exactly.
And that's hitting opposite.
3,000. Both those guys are in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Derek Jeter was another one that went opposite 90% of the time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I don't want to hear that major league hitters cannot hit it the opposite way. That's some BS. You know what I'm saying? It's just because they're being told, no, that's not worth it. We'd rather you get out than to get a bunt and get on first base. Why? Because then there's the potential of a double play. That's the way they think, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
1,001%.
Nah, I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? Like let it get back to some old time baseball. Let the managers have more control of what's going on because they're feeling what's going on in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, how do you take a pitcher that's dominating the other team out of a World Series game because the analytics say that he's not as good the third time around? That night he probably was because he was dominating them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they don't believe in that. They don't believe in feel. They don't believe in somebody being hot. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the numbers. And not for nothing. The other part of that too is that it's an easy out. Oh, well, it ain't my fault. That's what the numbers said. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that there's no accountability for it. You know what I'm saying? They can easily just blame the numbers. Bro, I could have a whole discussion about analytics, bro. For real. That shit pisses me off, man, because I love baseball, and it's too far that way. You know what I'm saying? It should be a balance of analytics and your gut. You know what I'm saying? Your baseball knowledge and instincts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Craig is saying F. Manfred. I think kind of agreement with that as well. Craig said, guys swing for the fence because home runs get contracts. That's true. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you getting a high average, being a high average hitter used to get you contracts, and having hits used to get you contracts.
And why can't you be a little bit of both?
Yeah.
Like Jonathan mentioned Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs and he batted 3-something. You can do both, man. You can do both. There's 162 freaking games. You know what I'm saying? You can bat for a good average and still hit some home runs, man.
Yeah, Craig says strikeouts are up too because every bullpen pitcher can throw 100 now. I do like the 3-batter minimum that's true.
Yeah, that one I had kind of mixed things about as far as the 3-batter thing because it does kind of take out the strategy of the game. But at the same time, you know what? If you can only get out one person, then you don't deserve to be a major leaguer anyway. You know what I'm saying? Get 3 guys out, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like back in the day, closers used to pitch 3 innings to get a save. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. You got to be able to pitch to more than one batter. Sorry. If you're not good enough, then you know what? We'll find somebody that is.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Johnny, let's switch to I think this weekend, the biggest event to me is UFC 285. After 3 long years, a guy I consider the greatest of all time, Jon Bones Jones returns, not at light heavyweight, but at heavyweight. He is taking on Surreal Gon. As we knock on wood, we are 48 hours, less than 48 hours away. Today's Thursday, so 48 hours. So away from Jon Jones entering back the octagon for the first time in 3 years. I mean, the last time we saw him, it was a close fight against Dominic Reyes. He squeaked out a win, and a lot of people felt he lost, but he won. Then we have a pandemic. We are now been out of the pandemic for about a year, and now Jon Jones, his long-awaited return, has come back to UFC 285 this Saturday, and what is absolutely a stacked fucking card, I mean, top to bottom, there's 14 fights, and it is literally a who's who, Johnny, for all fight fans. I know you're not deep into the UFC like I am, but yeah, I know you know who Jon Bones Jones is.
He's a name that I know. I'm not going to pretend to be on here and act like I know UFC like that. I think me and you talked about it before. I watched it in the beginning with Royce Gracie and the Gracies and stuff like that. But no, I'm definitely checking this out because that's all I've been hearing. The same thing you just said right now is that this is the UFC that even if you're just a little, you want to check this one out because there's some names that are going to be fighting, and of course, Jon Bones Jones is the one of the marquee ones there. I mean, I guess heavyweight would be the natural progression, as you get older. But I saw, a few of his fights back in the day. I mean, he's a bad boy. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm actually going to go, it's actually my birthday on Saturday too. So we're going to my boy's house and he's always going to get, he gets every fight, every pay-per-view shit. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching the UFC this weekend. So I will be able to talk shit about it with you next week when we cover the UFC matches, definitely, man.
Yeah, so I'm going to break down this card a little bit further in depth here. So at the top, Jon Jones, that's the number one. And Jon Jones is, I think, the greatest of all time now. You could mention GSP's are real close, number two. And people are very high on Khabib. I mean, Khabib didn't really fight the who's who. And that's the thing where I felt like GSP and Jon Jones have fought the who's who at the top of their weight classes. And, I mean, 14 title defenses for Jon Jones. That's a UFC record, unheard of. Now makes his long-awaited. He's had his troubles off outside of the octagon. There's been some PED use. There's been, several law enforcement runs. So there's been some trouble with Jon Jones. I mean, but he's been streaky clean for the better part of 2 years now. Put on the weight. I mean, I don't know if it's some of it looks like muscle, some of it looks like a little fat boy too, but he looks like a heavyweight. He says he still floats like a light heavyweight. Taking on Ciryl Gane. The last time we saw Ciryl Gane was a fun fight against Tai Tuivasa. Last time we saw Ciryl Gane face he fought last January for the UFC title against Francis Ngannou, and Francis Ngannou is not a wrestler at all. And Francis is a guy that puts people out. Well, Jon Jones is one of the best wrestlers in any weight class there is, one of the best jiu-jitsu people there is. Any business has so much talent. The guy is just, I mean, two of his brothers are in the NFL, Chandler Jones. So, I mean, the whole family's got just, athleticism. I'm going to go ahead and make some picks. I don't expect you to if you don't want to, but I'm hammering home Jon Jones here. And new UFC heavyweight champion, Jon Bones Jones. I am
going to go ahead and agree with you. I am in no position to make any type of bets on who's beating who, but I would definitely, agree with you as far as Jon Bones Jones. Like I said, he's the name I know. I've seen some of his fights. He's a bad boy. Everybody has issues. Hopefully he's gotten past those now and he can come and do his thing, do what, what he's meant to do, which is kick some ass. So I'm looking forward to it.
Full circle from top of the show to the bottom of the show. He was 21 years old, when he won the UFC light heavyweight championship for the first time, youngest UFC champion ever. So to that point, we talked about Mr. Carter, young, dumb kid making dumb mistakes. Now, I'm not saying some of what Jones, the steroids and things like that, that's not, I think that's a personal choice. That's not just but I think that's what a lot of competitors do. And at that time, a lot of people were doing the steroids. And some of that law enforcement stuff, again, I mean, I was never a coke bender, which, I mean, he was, hey, everybody's got their drug of choice when they're young and dumb. So, and if I was rich and had the money Jones did, I probably would have been cokehead too, but I wasn't. But I'm just saying. So, now he's fully matured. He's matured. He's grown. Hopefully, I think he knows that he's not maybe the best person at times. Has done bad decisions, but we're gonna find out how good he is come Saturday night. I'm super excited. Then the co-main, you got maybe the best women's fighter. It's either her or Amanda Nunes. You pick which one. But Valentina Shevchenko, we call her Chevy. She's one of the best fighters. She's the women's flyweight. She's going up against Alexa Grasso. I think Chevy almost lost her last fight. I like her to win this one. Grasso likes to stand up. Chevy can stand up with the best of them. It's when you wrestle where she gets a little bit in trouble. But Grasso's that's what she's known as, stand up and fighting. So give me Chevy to win this one as well. Then you got future. Mark this down. Future welterweight champion. I'm marking it down. Mark this down. Shavkat Rakhmonov is fighting. He's going to be the future welterweight champion. By this time next year, sometime in the year 2024, maybe at the end of this year, he's going to go right through Jeff Neal. Shavkat Rakhmonov is my guaranteed lock on this card. He's going to blow right through Jeff Neal. Then you got one of my other favorite fighters fighting on this card, Jalen Turner. Johnny, have you ever – I don't know, how tall are you, Johnny?
6 foot.
6 foot. So yeah. I'm 6'4". At 6 foot, do you think you could cut all the way to 155?
Hell no. I haven't been 155 since I was like 12, bro.
Jalen Turner, 6'4". He's 6'4". My height cuts all the way down to 155. This guy's ranked number 10 in the rankings, and he's got one of his toughest tasks. Gamrot, who is I think he's like number 7 without looking at the rankings, but he's a great test. Jalen Turner, this is going to be a heck of a fight. I think could be fight of the night type. Jalen Turner finishes guys in early rounds 1 and 2. Can he finish Gamrot then? I'm not too sure, but I love Jalen Turner. That one's going to be a hell of a fight. Then on top of that, to open up the card, Johnny, we got the premier prospect, the blue chipper, Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel, 3-time national champion. 3-time national champion, opening up his UFC debut on pay-per-view against who the hell? Jamie Pickett, who's this a name that's going to be at the bottom of the record is
tomato can.
Hey, just the guy. Hey, you know how they got a guy that's at the record book? Yeah. So at the record book it said, hey, this guy just fought that guy that started his career. That's Jamie Pickett. He's just going to be the footnote of what's going to be the Bo Nickel's great career going forward. Right. That's just the main card. Even on the prelims, you got former bantamweight champ Cody Garbrandt trying to figure things out. You got 2 middleweights trying to get back into Derek Brunson, who's trying to get into the title scene, and Dirkus Duplessis, who I call DDP, he's trying to work his way up. If he can get past Brunson, he's probably 2 fights away from contending for the title. I mean, absolutely stacked card. I mean, Dana White, hire me as your damn promo guy, will you? Because I'm pitching these fights here for Johnny Cruz.
I was about to say, you got me excited to watch that shit. Like I said, I'm watching it this Saturday, so I'm gonna be I'm gonna be messing you back and forth during these fights. So because I'm gonna ask, all right, which one is the one that I do not want to miss the first round? You know what I'm saying? Because one of the last fights that I saw was I checked out the what is it, Amanda Nunes chick?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she had the title, and you know what I'm saying, homegirl beat her ass, you know what I'm saying? And it was
you're talking
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was the whole upset and shit, you know what I'm saying, when she lost that fight. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, that shit was crazy. That shit was a lot of fun though. You know what I'm saying, to watch. I felt bad that she lost and shit. So, but man, I'm looking forward to it. And you know what I'm saying, this is definitely something that I'm looking forward to getting back into. I used to love boxing when I was a kid, but boxing is done, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now actually my youngest wants to get into jiu-jitsu, so you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna get back into the UFC. So I'm looking forward to some fun. I love fighting, man. You know what I'm saying?
This is the card to get back into it because this is the best card they're gonna have. I promise you that. I mean, 1 through 11. My personal opinion, before I get to some of these comments here, my personal opinion is I believe they stacked this card so thick because they thought just in case something happens with Jon Jones, because you just never know with Jon Jones, that, hey, if we scrap him, we can still say we got a hell of a fucking card because even though Jon ain't here, and I believe that's why this card stacked so high, because they just couldn't count on Jon Jones. And we're 48 hours away from seeing him for the first time in 3 years. Jon, just lock yourself in the hotel room. He doesn't even need to cut weight anymore. He says he weighs at 255. You only got to be 265. So lock yourself in the hotel room, Jon. Don't do any cocaine or anything stupid for the next 48 hours so we can watch you fight and hopefully take the heavyweight title.
Yeah, no, I don't see him doing anything stupid. Like we talked about, he's mature, and Dana White ain't stupid. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he stacked this card just in case. And not for nothing, we all benefit from it because I don't see Jon Bones doing anything stupid. So we get the full 11 fights, and it's going to be a lot of fun from top to bottom, man. So, like I said, you got a guy that hasn't watched UFC much in the last, you know what I'm saying, several years. Excited about watching this Saturday night. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man.
So Bobby G says Gane in 3. There's no way. He's not beating Jon. If Ciryl Gane wins, Bobby G, it's by decision. Jon Jones is undefeated. Yeah, I mean, he's beat the best of the best one time or another. I know it's been 3 years since he's fought, but I still like I think Jones is going to win. I don't think Gane is going to beat him. And if Gane wins, I believe it's by decision and decision only.
Bobby always with the big takes, boy.
Hey, Craig says Gane's going to be a great test. I do. I think this is a scary test for Ciryl Gane. When I first saw Ciryl Gane, I said that's the guy that Jon Jones doesn't want to fight his first fight at heavyweight. I thought I liked the fight better with Francis or even a Stipe. Because Ciryl's so big and he moves so fast and he is a little bit of a middleweight, but man, after I kind of soured on him after Francis took him down in that last year, Francis Ngannou out wrestled him, who's not a wrestler, on one freaking knee. And you're telling me Ciryl Gane's going to beat Jon Jones, Bobby G, in round 3? He couldn't beat Francis Ngannou on one freaking knee. Get out of here, Bobby.
Not only that, dude. But you think Jones is scared of anybody?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned that probably wasn't the right opponent. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's going to want to go in there. He's going to want to kick everybody's ass. So, you know what I'm saying? He's going in there with the mentality that he is the best. So, you know what I'm saying? I think we're going to get the best effort out of him. So, yeah, like I said, I don't see him getting in any kind of trouble. You know what I'm saying? This is an opportunity. This is another chance for him to, you know what I'm saying, regain his crown, make a bunch of money. And, you know what I'm saying, and be probably the greatest ever. If he goes on a streak now at heavyweight, is there going to be much of an argument?
No. Now, there only really be the PED use, and that's it, really. If he wins, once he wins heavyweight
like in baseball, you know, how many other guys was doing that?
Exactly.
Shit, you know
yeah, so Gane's going to be a great test for Jones. I rarely take the guys that have been out of the cage for a while, but Craig's taking Jones as well. Yeah. He's got he likes Grasso, but just like I said, Grasso wants to stand up and Valentina going to eat her up, Chevy and Steele. So he's got Chevy. And then he's don't disrespect Hands of Steel. I think this is a potential fight of the night. And but in Rahman versus Jeff Neal. I mean, Jeff Neal can knock people out, but I'm telling you, man, Shavkat Rakhmonov is the future welterweight champion.
I like when they go toe to toe, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the wrestling's fun too with all these moves that these guys do, but when they stand up there going toe to toe, you know what I'm saying? That's as close to boxing as I'm gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Except they can throw elbows and knees and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that makes it, you know what I'm saying, that much more exciting, man. So Greg's
got Jalen Turner for the W and Bo Nickel with the W. Yeah, I mean, Bo Nickel's odds are just astronomical. Minus 1,600. I mean, minus 1,600 for Bo Nickel.
I think Vegas is trying to tell us something.
Yeah. I mean, Shavkat's minus 500, which is, you know, Chevy's minus 800. The Jon Jones, Ciryl Gane is real close. It's Jon Jones is favorite at minus 180.
Yeah, I mean, moving up weight in any sport like that is a challenge in itself, man. So, you know what I'm saying, for him to move up to heavyweight to fight, you know what I'm saying, And it's not like he's going up to heavyweight and fighting a tomato can. You know what I'm saying? He's going up to heavyweight and fighting a legit fighter. So, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Leda says, great show.
Appreciate it.
And then he says, Jake Paul card of the year. Yeah,
well,
right.
He's going to be on one of these cards eventually, right? Didn't you say he's going to go over to MMA?
PFL. Yeah, PFL.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe. And we'll get you, before we get out of here, we'll get our thoughts, last little thoughts on the Jake Paul card here. Jones scared of Charlie Murphy, cocaine, hell of a drug. That's it. Exactly.
Yes, it is. It's gotten some good people, man.
Hey, so before we get out of here, what was your quick thoughts there on the Jake Paul and Fury fight?
I mean, it was an interesting fight. I mean, I think it was called right, even though Jake did knock homeboy down. You know what I'm saying? But I think he was just a better boxer. It was a real boxer for the first time. You know what I'm saying? But I give props to Jake Paul because he's taking this shit serious. He's training seriously. He wants to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Now he has the resources and the money and the time to put, you know what I'm saying, all the effort and training into it. So props to him, man, to go from YouTube to pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying, events. You know what I'm saying? Props to him. But yeah, I think the Fury kid won. Yeah, it was close, but you know what I'm saying, it was an entertaining fight.
Yeah, and he handled it humbly, and that's, I think, like, you know what I mean, and kudos to even him, because I always thought if he lost, like, it would be this big, you know, ordeal. Right. It looks like they're going to run that back, and if I'm you know, Fury too, like, run it back because it's a huge fucking payday. So go ahead and make them up.
He ain't gonna say no.
Hey, Chael Sonnen said, always take the easiest fight for the most money. That's what that's what how's prize fighting done. So if I'm Fury, I'm gonna take the easiest fight for the biggest amount of money. So that's you know.
You think all those guys really wanted to fight Mike Tyson? No, but they was gonna get paid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a smart way to go. You know what I'm saying? Make that money while you can, man, for real.
Bobby G says, Gane wins Saturday, Jones wins rematch in July. This is how Vegas works, fellas. Here's how it works, Bobby G, and that's where you're wrong. Jones wins now. Him and Stipe in July is a bigger fight. That's the biggest fight they can make unless they can bring Francis Ngannou back, who vacated the heavyweight title. That's how it works. So Stipe versus Jones, because Stipe is considered the greatest heavyweight champ of all time in UFC. And so you do Stipe Jones in July, and you build that as the biggest UFC heavyweight title fight ever, because you have maybe considered the GOAT of all of MMA versus the GOAT of heavyweights, and for the heavyweight title. That's what happens there. He's gonna,
now if Jones does that and beats that dude,
beats Stipe,
that vacated the title, come back for a fight with Jones. Dana White ain't stupid, like I said, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing: they offered
set up. I'm not saying it's set up, because I absolutely don't think it is.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's all about entertainment and fun and making money. But just think about the legend, you know, the extension of the legacy of Jon Jones if he just goes through all these greatest, you know what I'm saying, heavyweights out there.
Well, here's the thing. So if he beats Stipe, then it's the case closed. Because then really he beat Stipe and DC, which DC is considered one of the best all time as well in their prime. Stipe may not be in his prime anymore, but beat DC in his prime. But then if he beats Stipe, Francis, they tried to do Francis. Francis' contract it was came to an end, and they went to him. They offered him more money than they've offered any heavyweight in the world. He didn't want just money. He wanted certain freedoms, which I 100% got behind. Like, you know, he wanted sponsorships, and that's the thing. Is like Dana. I hate Dana. Dana's he's a smart businessman, but he's a fuck at the same time. Right. Now he'll never hire me because I said he's a fuck if he ever watches this. So, but I mean, he's
fucking awesome. That's what you meant to say. You just stumbled on your words right there.
But Francis wanted freedom, like to be able to put things on his, sponsors on his shorts.
Make some extra cash.
Yes, like wants money, man. Like, you know what I mean? At freedoms that they don't allow. in the UFC anymore. At one point in time, they used to have Dana be like, "Well, we're not NASCAR. We don't want stuff all over the shorts." But look at the fucking ring. The ring is littered with 1,001 sponsorships. But the fighters aren't getting any of that money. So why can't the fighters have their own sponsorships on their own shorts? And those types of things. And that's kind of what Francis wanted. He wanted to go Liberty to kind of go out and box as well. That's always been a dream of his. They said no. He said, all right, see you later. I'm not, hey, find happiness in whatever it is in life. And kudos to him because that guy's story, Francis's story, is incredible. So if you ever get a chance, Johnny, look up Francis Ngannou's story. I mean, come from, just humble beginnings. Absolutely was just poor, broke in Africa, was told he wasn't going to be nothing and broke out. And now walked his way, was living homeless in France and was training to be a boxer and then became a UFC fighter. But they should have promoted him a little bit better. But anyway,
I want to say, I think I did see something on him, but I am going to research him some more. Like I said, I'm going to do some research for this card because, like I said, I'm gonna have some fun. I just hope I ain't too drunk halfway through it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to pace myself. I'm gonna try to pace myself. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, it is my birthday on Saturday. So, but I'm gonna try to make it through the whole card because I don't gotta go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just crash over there. So it's all good, man. And
it's late night Saturday, so that's I kudos to the people on the East Coast. I have a hard time staying up here in Central Time Zone on these UFC fights. So, but even Craig said,
my old ass will just take a nap during the middle of the day. You know what I'm saying?
My wife she watches a lot of fights with me. This is what she does. She watches the first fight, falls asleep. I swear, every time works like a chain. Then she wakes up right as the main event happens. She wakes up, just wakes up on her own. I don't wake her up. You know what I mean? Like I try to let her.
It's that body clock. She
wakes up. Main event happened, and she able to watch the whole damn main event. She don't even really care what happened in the other fights, but she always watches the main event. Right. Craig says again, Jones versus Stipe potential to be the biggest ticket of the year. Exactly, and that's what I think could happen. They tried to do that somewhat this fight. This time, but they went Jon Jones, so we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Said, they stacked the rest of the card, though. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So they're gonna make that money off of this card, and then if Jones wins like he should, then you're just gonna make more money on that next event.
Oh yeah. Johnny, go ahead and get what else you got going on the rest of this week.
Well, I got the Let's Talk Miami Dolphins show tomorrow night on Let's Talk Sports, 8 p.m. I got reporter Ron Cantiff is going to be on there with me, Miami Dolphins reporter. So I am big time looking forward to that. Then I got Monday, of course, I got the Johnny Cruz show at 8 p.m. Still working on the guest for that one, but I think I know who it is, and it's going to be a fun one. And then I'm going to have a special edition of the Johnny Cruz show next week with none other than Jonathan Grisham. So I'm gonna have 2 Johnny Cruz shows next week. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. But tomorrow I'm looking forward to talking to the Dolphins tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'll be back on Sunday. Not sure what time. I believe it's the guy the guest is locked in. It's former NFL player Wally Rayner, former draft pick of the Cleveland Browns, played for the Jags, Lions, and Texans. We're working on the time yet. And also looks like it's going to be, me and Tanner are going to be the first contestants on the Dan Harris game show. So
I can't wait for that, bro.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what the topics are. I think Dan said they're going to be Packer related, and then Tanner's are going to be Chief related, I believe. Now, I don't know. The problem is I used to be really good at sports trivia, but I've slept, I've drank, and smoked myself too many brain cells away, and I've now forgot a lot of shit that I know. But, hey, we'll see. If you know me, I'm going to be doing a lot of trash talking. So, tune in. All the proceeds and money is going to be dedicated to, I believe, leukemia research. Yep. So I don't know how that works out, but Dan will get it. When the show goes live, Dan will tell you everything. that we know. So
yes. The super producer will let everybody know what's going on.
So please check out that. Both of those will be happening on Sunday. That's it, man. So Johnny, shit, man, happy birthday. I won't see you on Saturday. I probably won't see you till next week sometime. I'm sure I know we'll be talking, but happy birthday, brother. How old?
47. I'll be 47.
Woo, 47. All right. Well, happy birthday, my brother.
47. It. Yep.
47, a couple more gray hairs coming in. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. It has been a pleasure, folks.
It's always fun, man. This is always fun.
Hit the bell, whatever channel you're watching, whether it's my channel, the Let's Talk Sports channel, hit the bell and that'll let you know when we're going live, folks. We'll be back sometime Sunday. Not too sure. I believe the Jeopardy, the contest is going to happen around 12 Central Time Zone, I believe Dan said. And not too sure. We're working on time for Wally Rayner, but it'll be happening sometime Sunday. Special shout out to I didn't say this on Monday. I forgot because I'm a bad dad online, but shout out to happy birthday to my baby girl, Jayla Rose, turning 10.
Nice.
Get that out. So
that's a good number right there. 10 years old.
Big 10-year-old.
She's double digits.
Yes,
double digits.
She's
that much closer to being a teen.
She turned 10 on Tuesday. So special shout out to my baby girl. We're gonna get out of here. Be a friend, tell a friend. We'll see y'all next week. I gotta find the outro.